Hello, David, F&B Railroad. I'm bringing you update number 34. And in this update, I started doing one thing, but then I ended up doing another and going into full construction mode again. So what happened is I was working on my coal mine, and my coal mine is set back, and I was looking at my tracks and whatnot, and I was like, okay, the track comes out of the tunnel and it runs right alongside the tracks that go into the coal mine, and then over the gorge, a piece of land mass, over the other gorge, and then carries on. I'm like, well, why didn't the railroad people, aka me, just have the line go into the coal mine and make it short and simple? And I was like, well, you know, this is what happens when we try and compress, when we're condensed into a small area to work with. We push things as far as we can to get as much as we can into the area. I wanted more running, that's why I ran it past the coal mine so it would go further. And what has happened is I've compressed so much, it's the question of why don't you just go into the coal mine and be done with it? So I had to come up with a solution and something that looked better. So I came up with a view block. And that view block, if I put it in permanent, would have blocked me from cleaning the tracks that were behind it and getting to cars easily and other things, doing the landscaping and everything else I got to do behind it. So I decided to make them removable. And I'll show you what I've done to get into full construction mode after I show you what I started doing on the coal mine. So let's get into this. So my last update, I said I had to start working on this area, and as you can see, I've got my upper building painted. I got windows in, I got the roof painted and weathered. I got this roof painted and weathered along with this roof here, all painted up and weathered. Same with that roof. We got windows, we got more windows, and even this one I painted. I got the roof to do, but I got windows in that as well. Then I decided I needed another entrance, so I put in a door and built stairs, and I knew I had a door here, so I built this set of stairs as well. Now I got to put railings on these stairs, paint them and weather them, so I can get those all in place. But that's how the coal mine is starting to shape up. I also have this little building over here I gotta paint and weather up. That's my truck loading area for coal. So that's where I started, and then looking at this is when all of this started. So I want to talk about this area. This area here, we have the coal mine and all its tracks, and they lead out and around and hook up to the main over here. And then the main comes around, goes over those bridges, which is over the canyon, and then over this bridge, and then into the tunnel. Now, looking at this, obviously I condensed it and I want more distance between this track here and these tracks here for the mine, but I only have so much space, so like I said, I condensed it. And as I was looking at it, I was like, oh geez, why didn't they just run this track over to here and connect into the mine and be done with it and not have to deal with any of that? So in order for them not to, I've been thinking about what to do. And this is a situation I think we all get into, where our tracks are just too close to each other, and I don't have a lot of room to make a barrier, but I think that's what I'm going to do. I think what I'm going to do is add in some foam to fill in the area, and now I got a barrier, and I can cover that all with rock and make it look good. But if I put that there, now I'm going to have a hard time getting back to these tracks to clean them and whatnot. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make these removable. So I'm going to work on that and see where we end up. So now you can see I put up a barrier, and it hides the coal mine a little bit, definitely hides the track other than a little peekaboo right there. And it comes around over to here. And these are, I got a wedge on here and a wedge on the back side, so I can remove them. Same with this one. There's a piece there, 2 pieces there, 2 pieces there, this way here. I can just put it back in place. Now, the next thing to do is to start covering these up with rock masses, which means I'm going to need a lot more these rock castings to be able to fill that all up, both sides, maybe even a little cap to make it look very rocky and whatnot, so that it covers up and gives the track a reason to have to go over the canyons and around instead of just into where the coal mine was. So I think this is a good solution, and like I said, I'll be able to remove that, be able to get in there, get at the track. So it should be pretty simple, pretty straightforward, I hope. We'll see. So here we are in progress. I'm getting stone put onto my pieces, and as you can see, lifts right out, get right to all the track, put it back in, fitting fine. Same with this piece. Take it out, get to the track, put it right back in. And I think that's going to work out very good. Like I said, it gives me my separation. So now we know that this track just couldn't go in there without a lot of work, so it goes around. And then the lead for the coal mine and the forestry goes in around back and then into the coal mine. Now you can see that this is just all pieces of rock casting that I've glued with construction adhesive to the foam and just piled them up, glued them in to where they fit, and they fit over. See, some are on the base. Those are where my troughs are that hold this in place, and others are glued to the piece that drops in. And then what I'll do is I'll fill in all the little holes with some plaster and sculpt it a little bit to blend things together. Same with that piece. And I actually have, excuse the turn, more pieces of rock being made. They're in the molds right now, and as you can see, I'm not filling them completely, so that's how I can get different rocks, different shapes. That one I filled completely. That one not as deep. So that's what I'm doing for the rocks. So I've been working on the two little pullouts for this area, and you can see I got most of this rocked on the front side and on the back side, and it just sits right in there like that. That's going to create a view block for the railroad, well, for the person, and a reason for the railroad to have gone over this canyon. And this is the other side. It's all rocked up on the front side, almost finished. Got some more rocking to do on this side, but that piece also just slides right down in and stands up, and it's going to create an awesome view block, I think, and a purpose for this track to go over the canyon and over the canyon over here. The other thing I'm playing around with is making a natural rock bridge to sort of go across there. I'm playing with that idea. We'll see how it goes. Okay, that's the end of 34. You saw how the coal mine looked, how I did my weathering and painting. Got my windows in. I built some steps that I got to build some railings for, and then paint and get them done and whatnot. And there's still the little building of the truck loader area that I got to paint up and whatnot. I got to do the roof on the side building there. So there's still stuff to be done on the layout as far as the coal mine goes. But I got into that full construction mode and that view block situation to block it, to make the tracks have to run over the canyons and not go into the yard. And I think it's a good solution. It's not taking up very much room. A max, I think I have like 3 or 4 inches in there, and I think I'm taking up like 2 inches of space. So it's going to work out that way. It's going to look very rocky, very rugged. I don't know if there's going to be many trees on it or shrubs or bushes. We'll have to see as I go along. But I'm not done yet. So I still got some more rocks to do. As you saw, there was some rocks in their molds being made. And I got to finish this up and get it all together, let it dry up, get good and solid. And then I can go in and put in, you know, some more plaster of Paris to fill in the gaps, fill it in, sculpt it, make it look a little bit better. But it's coming along good, and I think it's going to be a very good view block. So, as I always say, I really appreciate everybody who watches all my videos, all the thumbs up I get, all the comments I get, good or bad, I don't care, as long as they're comments. People who comment have obviously watched my videos, and that's a good thing. So, this is what I do. I do this video to show how I'm building my railroad, and maybe people will get some neat tricks and stuff off of my stuff, or just say, hey, that looks good, maybe I can do that. I don't know, but I really do appreciate everybody who watches, everybody gives me a thumbs up, gives me a comment, share it with your friends, and what do I always say at the end here? Keep on modeling.